Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Yes, so Maxi, since we spoke last time, man, we've moved that much closer to the Grammy Awards, man. And I just wanna open with that. How are you feeling right now? A couple of days before the big day, so to speak, and just
Where
tell me about
we
the
at?
vibe
Like
right now.
3 days before. We're on a 3-day countdown now.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel really good. Really, really good. I'm blessed. I want to thank everybody for their support, because if it wasn't for their support, we wouldn't be doing this right now.
Right.
And we wouldn't be in a position where we're in the race or in the situation to be able to receive a Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
I truly want to thank everybody for their support over the years. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. And Maxi, I mean, just to have Marvin on today, and just to see, I was doing a little research on him, man, and he is doing his work as far as a entertainer and a
Yeah, man.
songwriter and a performer. How does that make you feel as his father, man?
Well, it's crazy because I'm sitting here looking at myself.
Mm.
Pretty much.
It's a reflection of myself,
Right.
and that goes for all of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
They are all a reflection of myself, and I say that because I am proud of each one of them. None of them no carry me go jail. None of them, no wrangle me in anything that is not kosher.
Right.
They are all individual, progressive people. And, it's difficult in this time that it's difficult for parents, period, because, life in general is hard, and it's hard for the new generation that is here today to have to face all the things that they have to face in life. So for me to sit here and say that they haven't got me in anything that is not kosher is actually an achievement. It's an achievement in itself.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many friends and family and associates that are in different situations with their children.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very true.
I say thank you, God, and I say thank you to my kids then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. And Maxi is coming to us from Jamaica, and Marvin all the way from Australia.
That's
And
right.
what time is it over there in Australia now, Marvin?
6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man,
Still good.
oh man, that's way too
Still
early to
good,
be
though.
up. Way
Still
too early
good.
to be up. So we really appreciate you getting up this early to be on the show.
No, of
Yes.
course, man. Of course.
Yeah.
Respect. Yeah, man.
So Marvin, talk about how much your father, Maxi Priest, has meant to you. You know his history. You know all the great things he's done. And we're talking off air before your dad came on in terms of how he's not only managed to stay relevant, but he is Grammy nominated now and for such a long time. But what does that say about your father?
It's an amazing achievement, to be able to be established in the business for this amount of time, and to, as you said, from back then to today, to still be relevant today is just a massive thing. So obviously, we're all proud of him, and it's a blessing for me, especially because I've grew up seeing it and learning it. So I've learned from the best place, you know what I'm saying? So it's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Okay. Now I saw a picture of both you kind of collaborating on stage. I posted on my Instagram. Just talk about performing with your dad and what experience that was for you, or the experiences you've had.
Well, as I said, I've learned so much from him. My first time, I was like 6 years old, and that's my first memory. You remember that, Dad? And I turned to him and I said to him, Dad, I got a tear. There's a tear coming down my eye because I was crying, but I didn't know why I was crying. And I was like, Dad, he said, don't worry, man, don't worry. And he just wiped the tear and gave me the mic. And there's a picture of that out there somewhere. That was my first experience. So obviously being able to learn it in the process. A lot of people don't get the opportunity. Do you get what I mean? So if I mess up, I could come off the stage and he can go to me, yo, you're off key, you know. You need to rear, and I can go, yeah, and I can fix and mold it into where it is today. So I've been really lucky. Probably I'm very, very, very lucky. Yeah. Okay. Yes, man.
Yeah. So Maxi, how is it important for each of your children to have their own identity? As a great legacy have you created, how important is that for you that they all kind of etch out their own identity?
It is of great importance to me, not only to me, but for all of us, including yourself, you know. It is important that these young people take on their identity and also their responsibility to us as a people. Do you know what I'm saying? We've come a long way, but we've got such a long way to go. You know, and to understand your groundation and where you're from makes you understand the responsibility that you have, not only to yourself, but to us as a people.
That's right.
You know, this we may laugh and we may joke and we may smile and be happy with this music business, but the music business is not just only about that. We are on a mission to create a better situation for us as a people. When you look at Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Jacob Miller, Greg Isaac, and all of these pioneers, Uri, Toots, and all of these pioneers that have set this road for us, that we are privileged and blessed to be able to travel on. That same responsibility is a responsibility of us and the next generation to come, because there are going to be generations after us. Do you know what I'm saying? The squeaking of the doors, my sister just keeps walking in and out, but it's all good.
All good, man.
You know, it's a blessing.
Right.
But you know, so, and I say that with this to show the sincerity of the seriousness of what we do and the responsibility that we have. We are we have to take responsibility to do the work and try to achieve as much as we can achieve for our offsprings. Do you know what I'm saying? It's it's like my singing then. I've always tried not to pigeonhole what I do, because for me, first and foremost is the art, and then secondly is the sense and purpose of my belonging or my existence. That then echoes through the growth of the works that we put out there, so that we can build a bigger platform for the next generation to come.
Yeah, the platform is important. That's important.
Yeah, it's you have 7 different kids and you have 7 different genres of music, and each generation that comes along comes with a new vibration. And it is very important that we as parents listen to that vibration, because if we don't listen to that vibration will find another cultural situation to gravitate to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? And then we will lose connection
Mm-hmm.
of us and them and us. We will lose our connection. And then that just breaks the chain. And every chain is as strong as its weakest link.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it is very important for us to listen to them and for them to also listen to
Listen,
us.
I was going to say that it's very important for us to listen as well, because we still need to keep that part of the tradition that
Yes.
from the older generation to mix with the next generation, so that it still holds a part of the important and the essence. You know, it still holds the essence.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the so we keep the root, because every tree that has no root
Mm-hmm.
cannot really be a tree. You know, it will wither away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it is up to us to keep the root, but also evolve. You know, evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace what our the new generation bring, but also at the same time, when you embrace it and allow and recognize that you're embracing it with them, then they open up to you and kind of say, well, then, you know, what about this, or what about that, or what about this? Because what's happening in a lot of our situations is that the music is such an important part of our existence, right? That emotionally our children get offended if you don't give the time of day to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get emotionally disregarded, then you will difficult to be able to explain anything else to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
They kind of shut down after if you don't keep an open ear.
Yeah, definitely. You make them close up. So it's a no in any which way you look at it.
Right.
You know? But I just wanted to say that
22.
just to show that life, music,
Uh-huh.
and life in general coexists. It's part and parcel of it. It's not just a, hey, it's beautiful, have a drink, have a dance, have a party. It's not
the part of life.
just that. It's real life. Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you
So,
just joined, you don't go ahead,
I
Maxi.
just wanted to add to that is that
Uh-huh.
be careful what comes out of your mouth, especially on record, because a lot of people don't realize that you get judged even as we exist. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because you utter something and then your kids come back round and ask you questions.
Right.
And then you have to be prepared to answer those questions. So be careful what you utter, because it just might come round and bite you.
Right. And you know, this kind of brings to mind Maxi and Marvin, something I heard Denzel Washington say, and I'm paraphrasing. He said that even as a struggling actor, there's certain roles that he refused to take, you know?
Right.
And
Right.
that he could not be bought, so to speak. And so that kind of aligns with what you're saying about being very careful about your narrative and the words that you speak, because they are so powerful.
Yeah, because he acts and we speak. In his acting, he may be able to say certain things. In our speaking, we may be able to act a certain kind of way. But we got to be careful as what we say, you know, because other ears, there's other generation of ears listening. And then you turn around and you say, hey, son, you know, go university, go college. And then, you know, he pulls out something where you've said something, or, you know, you said something that is not in the ballpark of what you're trying to preach.
Right.
You will be judged. That's a fact.
Yep.
You will be judged. You know, even though, you know, the Bible tells you, judge not, but life in itself presents judgment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of us. All of us. So if you're just joining us here, we are joined by Maxi Priest, uh, international reggae star who is now up for a Grammy nomination, Best Reggae Album. And we're also pleased to be joined by one of his sons, Marvin Priest, who's coming to us all the way from Australia in the wee hours of the morning. So once again, thank you to both gentlemen for coming on to the show. And Maxi, before we get into this Grammy nominated album of yours, It All Comes Back to Love, I wanted to ask you a question that I did not ask you last time, and that is, where do you feel you've made the biggest impact in music, and does it align with your dreams when you first started in the business? How much has it changed, if any, but where do you think your biggest impact has been made in the reggae and or music business?
Where is my biggest impact? I can't, how do I answer that? How do I answer that? First of all, I can hear my mom in my ears. Self-praises have no recommendation, son.
Right.
You know? So I don't really kind of go around, you know, sitting down there going, where's my biggest impact? I would like to think, right, that my biggest impact is of a motivation and an inspiration to the generation after me. Coming out of the United Kingdom as a young Black man, to give a strength to the darkness of what we have seen in England, right? To be able to give a light, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I hope that makes sense to you.
It sure does. It sure does.
You know,
yeah.
That's really where I would like to think that my biggest what was the word that you said?
Impact.
Yeah, impact I would like that to be my biggest impact, because as I said to you, it's not just music. It's not just music. This music thing is bigger than all of us. It's bigger than all of us. It has a responsibility for so many people, and from whence they came to where we are today. You know, it's a bigger struggle than that. I can tell you that every place in the world that I've been, you know, people speak of Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, and all of these pioneers before me that has blessed me with an opportunity to do something that I love. You know, it's not everybody that is fortunate to be able to be doing something that they love. You know, and I guess more than that, the benefits of Bob's achievement is not just music. It's not just music. When I speak of Bob, I speak of Bob as a prophet, as a disciple. I speak of Toots, I speak of Uri, I speak of these men as disciples. You know what I'm saying? Not just music. When you think of my parents that pioneered from England or anywhere else in the Caribbean and came to England or America or anywhere like that, right? These men sent a vibration through the music to give strength to those people to fight all of the oppressive and discrimination and all that they had to face. Give them strength to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I am only a step away from that generation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for me, the life that I live and the life that I look at, you know, I look at this music thing as more than just music. It's more than just a party and music. It's bigger than that. There's a progressive movement for the liberty of my people and the world. Because Rasta said one love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rasta said one love. And until we can get back to this one love, we are a little bit fragmented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So you mentioned Bob several times there, Maxi. I wanted to ask you, was there one song maybe that you heard? I know you grew up in a church singing gospel, and you talked about your foundation in the church and your mom. And was there one song that maybe lit that fire in you that you wanted to carry on that message, so to speak, while you're growing up?
There was not a one song. There was many songs. There's many songs. You know, I had the opportunity to meet Bob once, and I didn't meet him. I had the opportunity to go to a concert that he did in Crystal Palace.
I remember you told me.
And it was nothing more than I ran up to the coach when they came off stage and they were going on stage. And it was nothing more than me I stuck in my tracks as I went towards him and just watched, just admired and watched. And then for me to be in the music business and to be able to meet people like Marcia, Rita, Judy Moet, Family Man and the whole crew that was around him. You know, I've been blessed. I have been blessed. I can tell you when I was in my house with Marvin and Ryan, playing Dennis Brown and singing along to Dennis Brown and trying to understand every word, every breath, every lick that came out of his mouth, that I wanted to be able to be a part of this movement. And I say movement because I grew up in a country that would always say to me, go home, go back to your own country. You black this, you black that. I went through those struggles, you know what I'm saying? And so when I heard the vibration of Rasta and was able to connect it to my groundation, my gospel spiritual groundation that my mother brought me up in, I could see that there was a movement. There was a movement of our people that that I found I have responsibility for, as a young man, as a young black man growing up in this, growing up in England. And so I wanted to be a part of that vibration. So for me to sit here and tell you one particular song, it would be wrong of me. There's so many. I mean, no one remember old Marcus Garvey. No one remember old Marcus Garvey. Yeah, that in itself resonates through my spiritual existence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? you know, much, you know, for you know, Dennis Brown, you know, wolves and leopards are trying to kill the sheep and the shepherds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To move on to who the cap fits, let them wear it. You know, all of these are part of my groundation.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That is a part of my spiritual connection as a um, as a young black man in a society where was constantly told you don't belong. You
Mm-hmm.
know, those vibrations gave me an identity. You know, I am somebody.
Buddy, that's right.
You know, so that all of that is part and parcel of the question that you asked me of where is my greatest or whatever, what was, how did, was it you put it?
Greatest impact.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that is means more to me than any one song that you can pull out of my bag.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I sit here and tell you that I've done the perfect recording, I'm still searching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That's right.
still searching.
Still
But
hungry. Still hungry.
I give respect to and thanks to everybody that has allowed me to grow in this.
Mm-hmm.
Because my first recording, I'd probably close my ears and my eyes going, please, please, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's, you know, that's not really where I want to be. But I look back on it and now, and I think, well, this is where I started from. So
That's right.
so people have allowed me the space to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And without their support, I would be on a building site or, you know, doing plumbing or carpentry or something like that, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and singing on there, very frustrated and upset that my spiritual connection to my music was not allowed to grow or to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, and I sit here and it's like chills to me because this is my life that I live today. It's not the Max of yesterday or the Max of whenever, but
Mm-hmm.
but even though I look back on it and I think that I knew that there's a purpose. There's a purpose for this. You know, there's truly a purpose for this.
Mm.
And not just me. I look back at my days of Saxon around the sound system, you know,
Mm-hmm.
with Philip Levi, Peter King, Smiley Culture, Asher Senator, Tipper Irie, and the list goes on, Pat O'Banton. I want to name all of them, you know, Dennis Rowe, Musled, you know, all of these cats have played a part in this. If you spell out my name, you know,
Mm-hmm.
each one of them are a part of those letters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it is a very live, living, and serious thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
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 Please.
And,
Yeah.
and Maxi, Marvin, I want to bring you in on this, but I want to ask Maxi first. A lot of people who might not know your background as far as growing up, I believe in Southeast London, and the obstacles that you face as a black man. I mean, we all see the great videos and the ballads, and we love it, and it's so unifying. But what a lot of people might not realize is what you had to endure as a young black man growing
Mm-hmm.
up in Southeast
Mm-hmm.
London. Police that chase you, try beat you up, a skinhead that try chase you and beat you
Yeah.
down. So talk about navigating that, and then I want to hear Marvin chime in with what you think of what your dad persevered through.
Well, you know, as a young kid, you know, my parents came to England in the 50s and 60s. You know, in those days, you know, I don't know if you could picture this, a room with 4 or 5 of us in one bed, 3-bedroom house with 2 different families in there. And remember, I told you 9 of us as brothers and sisters.
Right.
And then you have a paraffin heater that gives off this kind of fumes and smoke that that I could write my name in the ceiling in the soot. So we were breathing that in as kids. As a very young kid, I had asthma and all that kind of stuff, bronchitis, all that kind of thing there, right? And then that was inside the house. So inside the house was very much Jamaica. We're very West Indian, Jamaica culture. Your Sunday dinner, same way as Jamaica, your Saturday soup, your tradition, boom. And then, as you stepped outside, or even just next door, playing sports in the back garden, the ball would go over to the white man's yard. He would cut it up and tell us, go back to your own country and all that kind of stuff, And then you go out on the street and, we're having to walk in 2s and 3s and, some group of skinheads or greasers and all of that going, yo, you nigga this, and they're running you down the road and all that kind of stuff. And then we have to run. We got to be on our toes. We got to run because there's like 6, 7, 8 of them. You know what I'm saying? And then behind all of that, every morning we would get up, the 4 of us as brothers in one bed. One would roll out and then light the fire, and then one sit around it. The next one come sit around it. By the time the 3rd one come around it, it's a fight.
Right.
Literally, the whole hour we go fight. So every morning we're going to school. We walk one behind the other because one vex with the other. You understand? And we're going to school. And then when we reach the school now, we have to face these men. Them I tell you, say, boy, yo, you nigga this or you nigga that or whatever. And then there's a fight, but all of we going to fight that one person.
Right.
No if, no buts, no maybes. Because on top of that, no, my sister them going to come in upon it. Right?
Solidarity.
Yeah, because it's all for one. You understand? But beyond all of that is my mom going, don't listen to them. Forgive them because they know not what they do. You understand? And then you have my mother now, when we go shopping now, we'd hold on our frock tail and then, she would stop people and then we would have like, 6, 8, 10 people around us. And she's giving out the most Holy Ghost and the most prayers, and we're pulling her frock going, mom, we don't know them. We don't know these people, and she's giving off this big prayers, loud, very, very loud and proud. You understand? So, and that gave us a kind of balance to also understand that there's good and bad in every nation, in every situation. You understand? So we learn how to forgive and move on. You understand? So yeah, that's just my little story or my little story of my life that we lived as brothers and sisters in this country, in this country called England.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
Well, that's a big story actually. And Marvin, I just wanted you to just kind of comment on what your dad had been talking about as far as all the obstacles that he faced growing up.
Yeah, they were. I heard a lot of the stories. For me, obviously, my generation was a little bit different. Whereas, when we was growing up, it was a bit more mixed by that time. Do you get what I mean? Like all of the kids in my school, a lot of them were of color. But the only problems we would have would like if we go to certain areas, like if you come out of London and you go to certain places, then you'd find the trouble. So. But if we stayed, as I said, with our generation, it was fine. I heard about the stories from my dad and that though. It was pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, no doubt. And to navigate all that and to become one of the biggest stars ever is really says a lot, I think, Maxi, about your focus. And while there were possible distractions, you kept your purpose at the forefront of everything, man. And we are the
There's,
beneficiary of
there's,
that.
there's a groundation, you know, a spiritual connection. And that's what I think is one of the greatest part about this COVID thing, is that people have taken time to look into themselves. You know, if there is a good part in it, right? That's the greatest part of it, is that people have taken a little time to smell the roses, to reflect, to look into themselves, be a little bit more spiritually grounded, be a little bit more caring about others. You know, no matter which color, class, or race you may be, you know, we are people of existence in this beautiful world that God has created.
And
Do you know what I'm
also I
saying?
found that with the COVID, Dad, it gave people time to find themselves, actually look
Yes.
into themselves and find things that they like, what you don't like, what you want to
Yeah.
do with your time, and it done a lot of that. It's a lot of reflecting.
Yeah. So God moves in mysterious ways.
Which ways?
You know what I'm saying? And I echo that also for myself, because I do believe that I have survived based on my groundation and my principles and the way that I was brought up by both my parents and my brothers and sisters and the village or the neighborhood that helped to raise me, which we have lacked. There's no longer these villages or these you know the support of generations to grow children. You know, a new generation has come where sometimes they get a little bit touchy when you may scold their child. Do you know what I'm saying? And not realize the benefit sometimes of the experience from other generations to impact on the younger kids. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not pointing that at my son or any of my kids. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that it exists.
No, it's the truth. It takes a village to raise a child. I was always
still.
Yeah. But the parent has to open themselves up for that village to do that.
That's right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas you know, just misunderstandings and also what we lose from two people raising a child. You know, these one parenting situations are not it's difficult is what I'm saying. Yeah, but I don't you know, please don't let me run this conversation down to this to
no, it's all good. Yeah,
but I just want to say that it's all part and parcel of music,
right?
Because music is a very powerful tool to the direction of any nation. You know, we are already lost and scattered in respective of we do not recognize our king or our queen as a nation. You know, we fail to recognize His Majesty and Queen of Sheba. And until a nation recognizes king and queen, it's scattered, it's lost, it's blinded. You know, we can talk about the English monarchy and the American Congress and all of that as much as we want until we recognize our own existence and our own connection to the lineage of King Solomon and King David. You know, we disconnect our own spiritual connection, which is a powerful vibration to our success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. All right. Well, speaking of the music, we're gonna go to a track right here. I'm All Right off the It All Comes Back to Love. We're gonna play this track. It's our first one up. And after we play it, Max, I just want you to comment on it. All right. So we're gonna go to that right now.
Shaggy. I don't care what they do to me. I'm alright. And I don't care what they say about me. I'll be fine. Talk to the mouse. Cause the music makes me feel like dancing. And my feet keeps moving to the song. And through the speakers I can hear it blasting. And with the words I got to sing along. Yeah. So many emotions moving my soul. Oh, so captivating, taking control. Yeah. Set me free. To the music, to the music. My heart, it beats. To the music, to the music. I don't care what they do to me. I'm alright.
All right. Well, that sounds like a
Big tune,
blockbuster,
big
Maxi.
tune.
Yes, so talk about that collaboration. You and Shaggy go back way back, I believe 1992, toured together. And there's a lot of history there between you and Shaggy, a brotherhood for sure, Maxi.
Oh, 100%, 100%. You know, his manager before, Robert Livingstone, he and I used to sell records out of the back of a car in England.
Right.
You know, driving up and down, south, north, south, east, and west, selling records. And when I finally achieved some success in the United States, which Robert Livingstone was also very much responsible for sending a lot of imports into United States, because at the time I was signed to Virgin. Ziggy Marley was also signed to Virgin, and they were talking about, you know, we didn't really want to release two reggae acts at the same time in the United States. So it was only because of the import that came in that I actually got my release in the United States on Virgin. But anyway, Robert brought Shaggy to me in a rehearsal that I was doing in New York, in Manhattan, and said to me, "Yo, me have this DJ, and I try a thing." And basically I said, you know, he'll probably tell you the same thing. I said, "Yo, anything you say, Robert, if I because, you know, I know where he's coming from. You understand?" So he brought him to rehearsal. He did a couple of lines, and I said, "Okay, no problem. Boom, come back to rehearsals. Let's do a thing." And then we were on the road, touring. At the time, we were in Brazil, and I remember he came to my room and he said, "Boy, boss, my tune just get pick up in England, and they've offered him Top of the Pops." Now, for those who don't know, Top of the Pops is like your main kind of billboard of England.
Right.
And it was Old Carolina that he was doing. And I said to him, "Yo, kid, you know, do your thing, man. Go and do your thing. Go and do your thing." I was without a DJ on the road, but that was just what it was. And I say I was without a DJ. A lot of people don't realize that my thing with DJ, my love for DJ comes from sound system. You know, that sound system culture is something that I always wanted to bring mainstream. And that's one of the key reasons why I did the song with Shabba, you know, was to bring the sound system culture that you, Roy, and Daddy Roy, and all those Prince Jazzbo did, that we learned from, to the forefront of you know, international music. You know, yeah. I just wanted to drop that in.
No, that's good, man. That's good. And Marvin, I wanted to ask you, as far as your career, where it is now, where you want to take it, and how much of an influence, obviously, your father has had and is having on the music that you create.
Yeah, well, yeah, my journey's gone really well for me, actually. Just as my dad was saying before about growing and people letting you grow and learning, you know, I've gone through the same stage. Like, I've been doing this from like 2010, like properly, like professionally. Do you get what I'm saying? So in that time, I've done so much different genres of music. I've ventured and tried so much different things, and now that I've come full circle and know exactly what my sound is and how I want to sound and how I want to come across and what I want to project to the people. So right now I've got my own company, you know, I've got my own label here. I've got a band, and we're putting out some really good music. So I'm really happy because, again, I was in a record deal situation before, whereas when you're in a record deal, you sometimes don't get to have the control of the music that you want to actually put out, because you've got someone else that's dictating to you what you're like. Hey, I've got this song, and they're like, nah, we need this sound. So you go through that situation. So now today, where I'm in complete control, I feel much happier inside, because no matter what, no one can't dictate to me what comes out now. It's all about what I feel is good for me, and that's the best feeling when you're an artist and you're making art. You don't want anyone to you know, tell you, well, it needs to be like this, it needs to be this. No, let it be what it is, and let it come out. And then if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then maybe you can say, oh, maybe you can try this. But right now, I'm really, really happy with where I am with my music.
Okay.
Really
so
happy.
I do want to hear the name of the company and where we can find all your work.
Yes, well, I got a company called Irie Nation, which is here in Australia, and under Irie Nation, that's the head banner. Then I have Crown Heights, which is my band. That's the first act that we're doing here. So yeah, so Irie Nation, look out for it.
Okay, and we can find you where on your socials?
Oh, everywhere. Marvin Priest, everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Marvin Priest, Facebook, Marvin Priest. Everywhere you look, Marvin Priest, you'll find me.
Okay, Maxi, have you ever performed down there in Australia?
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
of course,
okay.
many times.
How did he get?
How did I get here? Yeah, exactly. You get what I'm saying?
I thought he met an Australian girl and fell in love, man. There are many ways to get there, man. I don't know.
As you say, when you asked before and you said his impact is around the whole world. So when I've got to tour with him, we've got to travel to all of these places, and then some of these places they like, oh hey, and ended up picking me up. You get what I mean? So that's it. Yeah, he's big. Come on, man. Global, man.
Yeah. Talk about the reggae scene there a little quick, and I want to get to another. I want to talk about the reggae scene down in Australia, how it's growing.
Oh, the reggae scene is big. Anything, because they don't have it here, the official thing. When it does come, and my dad will tell you 10,000, 20,000. We've done 30,000 in New Zealand. It's a big thing. It's not, obviously it's not as commercial, but again that's what my dad was saying about the platform and making sure that we continue to push the reggae music so that we can get onto these commercial radios and be playing on a regular basis, and not just in 10 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock. No, we're playing at the peak of the hours. So that's, you know, that's the push that we're trying to push now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Max, we're gonna go to the second. You know, go ahead.
I just want to say, you know, it's their time. It's their time in respect of, you know, the computers, the internet, all of these different things have given
we're in control,
given us much more control, a bigger platform. It is up to them to understand how it runs on the internet and even teach me. You know what I'm saying? I never grew up with a computer. By the time I saw a computer, I was a big man. You know what I'm saying? So, these are all opportunities that the pioneers them have fought for. And just don't take it for granted and make use of it. That's all I ask.
Right. No doubt. And Marvin, so many times we hear the younger generation, this, the younger generation that, without even looking at the value. Like every generation feels their generation is superior to the next one. And where I'm going with this is saying Marvin's age and even younger, they are at the forefront of fighting for change. As we saw the social justice last year in large part. They're the one that say, you know what, I want control over my brand. So they are actually the one out in front, and that's what we should be celebrating.
Over your destiny.
Yes.
Of course.
Over our destiny.
As he said, do the research. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do the research and learn about what you're doing, then you're not going to get nowhere. But the opportunity is there, especially like in this phone here, right here, in this smartphone. You can go in there and you can literally do everything in there. So there's not really an excuse of people are like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, there's a lot you can do yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And the key is still education. The key is still education. Our kids must be educated to a level that they can take advantage of the opportunities that are there. And they're the actors, they're the singers, they are the man of tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just by grabbing the bull by its horn and rolling with the punches.
No doubt. And we have to support our young people.
Yes,
and not look at the differences, just say, boy, if we don't support them, who's going to support them?
No, like I said, another genre, another generation of people will take control of that. If you're sleeping, things happen while you're sleeping. So don't sleep on the job.
Right. Come to the pillow.
Yeah, there you go.
No doubt. Well, Max, we're going to get to the signature single here. It all comes back to love, and we're going to play that right now. That's track number 5 on the album, I believe. But we're going to get to that, and then I just want you to talk about it a little bit. So it all comes back to love off the Grammy-nominated album for Maxi Priest.
We may struggle with words to say. I find it hard to walk away. Trouble is here to stay. And you just wanna run away. And you feel like you've been through it all. In the struggles you seen the falls. But one thing remains the same. That love's the only way. So how can we ever let go? When we all know that I got full control. Just when you think about it, it all comes back to love. And there's no way around it. It comes right back round to love.
Okay. All right, Maxi. Wow, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear that single being replayed? You're on mute.
You're muted, Dad. You're muted. Yo.
The great Bubblers Ogilvy from out of UK, a producer who basically wrote the track. Livingstone Brown, who I sat down and wrote the basis of the song with. Miss Demoya, a singer, who also called me on the day when we were writing the song. And during the conversation, the words "it all comes back to love" was in the conversation, and I immediately got her off the phone and went and put that hook down. And to think that that's the title of the song, title of the album, and so significant to the time that we're living in, you know, because I just feel like before the COVID, everything was just running so fast that we lost direction, you know, and lost our spiritual connection. You know what I'm saying? So, and to think that that song was written way before that time, and then when you look at it, I as I say to all of my kids, you know, first God, and then everything else comes afterwards. So, and God is love, so it all comes back to God. You understand? And that in itself, you know, it means it's such a powerful vibration within me to think that during this the COVID hits, and then bam, I'm being nominated for Grammy, and then the title of the song, it just seems like a whole spiritual journey for me, you know. There's so many things that I think about when I hear that song. Honestly, it's not just one thing. You know?
And that seems to tie in with your theme, I believe, Maxi, in terms of your career and your music has always been about love. I think that is one of the constant themes that you've always in your songwriting and your performance. It is love.
Yeah, I would definitely say that is the root of it. That's the blood that runs.
Hey guys, sorry to cut you. I gotta run. My daughter just woke up.
Okay. All right, Marvin. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Best of luck.
Love you. All right, Dad. I'll talk to you later. Love you, Dad.
Yeah, go and see to Zayla.
Yeah, Zayla.
All right.
Take care.
Bless.
Take care, man. Best of luck. Stay safe.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, you know, the children have to come first.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, that song there's got so many different angles to it. You know, it's chilling because even when I look at the album United State of Mind,
right,
and the time that we're in, I can only say that it's destiny.
Destiny.
I don't know another word to use. Because it's all relevant and it's all meaningful, and that makes me feel like I got something solid, and that means a lot to me. Yeah.
So I do want to mention Livingstone Brown and Robin Trower, two highly respected figures in the music industry, and collaborating with them on this United State of Mind. That's another album that you have out, which you mentioned previously. Talk about that album coming together for me, Maxi.
Well, Livingstone I've worked with for over 30 odd years, and the same with him and Robin Trower. But I never met Robin Trower. It was only one day by chance that I was coming out of he was coming out of the studio, and I was coming to the studio to work with Livingstone Brown, and we met. it just so happens that we came from the same area, Southeast London in England. And we started talking, and we just said, let's just try something. No pressure, no, it has to be this way or that way or anything like that. Let's just do something. And we found a space where we could freely and easily just make mistakes that gave no restriction to the creativity. And this is basically the end result of that I am very, very, very extremely proud of. As I spoke about earlier on, opening the box, stepping outside the box and building this platform that the next generation can stand up and have a groundation to start from. That's priceless for me.
No doubt. Well, Maxi, there is a link there that Alex mentioned as far as fans can get a view of how you're down in Jamaica and kind of interactive, and that is a lot of fun, man. Talk about how that came about and where we can find that link.
It is crazy because I'm doing all these different bits and pieces of stuff in Jamaica.
Right.
And then Grammy calls me and they say to me, we're giving you a 15-minute slot recording.
Right.
If I could record about 15 minutes and they would like to use these bits and pieces in their program. So I'm like, wow, great. Jump on it, And then I had all these different bits and pieces. So I just kind of pulled them all together and created this thing for them, of which I'm very proud of. And I can't wait for everybody to see it. It's really the thing. I can't wait for everybody to see it because, I did a few things in there, which was just, some fun and laughter.
Right.
And then I spoke to Stevie Wonder, who called and congratulated me for my Grammy nomination. And when you say Stevie Wonder, you say groundation of music. Do you know what I'm saying?
What?
That's.
Tell me one thing, Maxi. I can't just to hear part of that conversation. Just tell me one thing that you and Stevie exchanged, man. That is a profound conversation.
I mean, it was just sheer respect from me to Stevie, especially for the reasoning that he put out earlier on this year when we were celebrating Martin Luther King's Day.
Right.
And also his reflection of where we are today from that time. And I just remember some of the conversation with him, it went over my head because I was so concentrating on that and wanting to tell him how much I appreciated him and what he said on there. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's easy for us to take things for granted,
right?
And just think that everything is okay, And I just really wanted to just kind of express to him what it meant to me, and the fact that I put it on my social media and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to say, Stevie, I put that on my social media, and and he's talking to me about congratulations and all this, and I'm going, no. So you know, I kind of probably, you know, I probably missed the whole point of the conversation.
Got so caught up with Stevie.
Yeah, I got so caught up
Yeah.
with wanting to tell him how much I appreciated him and
Right.
the whole vibration of where we are today and what he spoke about with you know, Martin Luther King and the presidential situation. Yeah.
No doubt. Well, Maxi, we're going to close. We're going to exit with "It's a Summer Vibe." I believe Che, your other son, worked on this. And wow, how proud are you that he collaborated on this, and him and I guess Bounty Killer is also on it. Talk about that real quick before we close.
I am so proud and ecstatic, you know, the fact that my son, my last boy, you know, produced the track, and we were able to invite Bounty Killer on it, and you know, be a part of building something with your offspring. You know, I never got that chance with my dad or not with my dad. Yeah, I didn't get that chance with my dad to be able to
share.
Yeah, to share something like that, you know, on a level that you could be yourself and he be himself, you know, and genuinely create something that you can look back and say, yeah, you know, and the world's hearing it as well. You know,
you're right.
That's touching. I don't even know how to put words to that. That's just another blessing, King.
You know? And it will be there forever. Like nothing can erase it. It's there for history.
Yes,
perpetuity,
most definitely. Yeah. So you know, I grab a hold of that and I cherish that. That's what I say. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Maxi, once again, it's been a blessing for you to come on here and just speaking your word, man. It's so powerful and your purpose. And I just wish you all the best, man, with Grammys and beyond. I know you have a lot of creativity left in you, and that's one thing. Yeah, I think that you just keep reinventing the wheel, so to speak, man, and just keep moving forward. So respect again, Father.
Respect to you, King, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors as well. And you know, very importantly, thank you to everybody that has supported me over the years. I truly appreciate it. Love it. Cause we are Rasta. We not appreciate nothing. We appreciate love it. You understand? Yeah. And you know, in this time, please be safe. But very importantly, you know, think of others. That's it, really.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
God bless.
Yeah, God bless, man. So once again, it's the Summer Vibe, produced by Maxi's son Che, along with here Bounty Killer, and we're going to exit with that as a Summer Vibe off the Grammy-nominated album. It All Comes Back to Love. We wish Maxi Priest the best. The Grammy Awards are going to be Sunday, and we'll all be rooting for you, Maxi. So God bless again, man.
Give thanks.
Respect.
Peace, King.
All right.
Summer series. I need the sun and the sea breeze.
Yo, kid. Let's do this. Chase Ave. Everybody come alive. Everybody come alive.
Summertime.
This is summer vibe, yeah. A little bit of heat in the night, but we don't gotta sleep by 5. Cause you are the flame in the dark to give light to my eyes. Hold me down, baby, like you never, like you never. Gonna let go of this feel that I deliver with a little drop top, driving cool.